My besties, how are you guys doing? I wanted to come on and do a reading. So we're going to look at this deck to see what's going on with you and what you need to hear today. I feel like it is about a connection, possibly someone you feel you have a soul contract with. Perhaps you resonate with being on the counterpart journey, which, just to make it clear, that journey is about you. It's about coming home to yourself. But with that being said, let's get into your reading. We'll see what comes out. So we're going to be looking at your energy. And I'm going to start with this deck because I tried to start this reading with a different deck and Spirit was blocking me. So let's get this deck. All right, so there's nothing there. So we're going to shuffle some out. All right, let's have a look. What is going on with this beautiful collective today? Let's see. All right, let's try again. They're being picky. There we go. Okay, this makes total sense now. Okay, so we have the comeback, unexpected message, trying to reconnect, regret resurfaces, curiosity about what's changed. We have lesson learned, karmic cycle closed, awareness gained, healing complete, ready for something real. And we have dream job. I just saw 222 on the timer. Dream job alignment, purpose meets opportunity, authentic expression, right place, right time, your fulfillment is calling. All right. So this collective, it feels like you've heard from someone, possibly. The fact that your middle card here, well, I'm not done, but the fact that your middle card here is lesson learned, I feel like you have learned a lesson. You're probably very focused on your purpose right now. I was also seeing the quiet glow, the glow within. So you could be glowing right now. Maybe you don't realize it. I always say when we're glowing, we don't really know that we're glowing. People will tell us we are, but we don't feel it. And the glow within comes from healing, right? It comes from self-love and healing, and fulfillment and happiness and things like that. It's very interesting that I was drawn to the deck I was drawn to, because not this deck, the other deck I was trying to use. And what happened was I cut the deck and I cut it on Twin Flames. And then I shuffled and Twin Flame came out. Anyway. Whoever you are, you've learned a lesson when it comes to whoever this connection is. I don't want to label it right now. You've closed some kind of karmic cycle, awareness gained, healing complete. And healing is an ongoing process, right? But clearly you've learned something with someone, an important lesson. And you're ready for something real. You don't want, like I see mixed signals on the bottom. So you don't want mixed signals. You don't want inconsistency, confused intentions, says one thing, does another, emotionally inconsistent, unsure of what they want, right? We'll see if that comes out, but you're ready for something real. And this comeback, either you've heard from this person recently or possibly there's a message coming. Let's get two more. All right, we have hard truth. Knows the truth, not romanticizing potential, facing reality, healing, not chasing. And it's coming out with toxic comfort, hard to let go, familiar chaos, repeating cycles, learning self-worth. So for whoever you are, I do feel like you resonate with being on the journey, right? I mean, this is good. It's really good because you're no longer romanticizing the potential of this connection or this person. You have clarity about this. And in that little black deck I used, the other card that came out was Sword and the Rose. So seeing things more clearly, revelations, seeing the truth, protecting your energy. I feel like whoever you are, you know the reason why you couldn't let this connection go. And it wasn't because it was your twin flame. It was because there was something familiar about it, right? Something reflecting back to you, possibly about your childhood, some familiar chaos, repeating cycles that perhaps played out in your childhood, teaching you self-worth, right? And that is the hard truth. That is what this journey is about. It's about you. It's about, not that I want to use the label, but it's clearly coming through for a reason. And it's not about, like, you're no longer chasing, which means in the past you would have been attached to this because it was familiar, right? Familiar chaos. And it was meant for you to heal some of these cycles out and learn your worth, right? I'm seeing that, I think it actually is the broken mirror card in a channeled message deck I have that speaks about they reflect back to you all your deepest fears, wounding, and insecurity through their action or lack of action. But the fact that these two came out together, amazing. Because you're no longer romanticizing the journey. You're no longer, you're probably not watching tarot for them. You're watching tarot for you. And we have missed opportunity. Could have been more. Timing didn't align. Lessons through loss. Acceptance brings peace. So you're no longer seeing this as a missed opportunity, right? You have acceptance. You have that acceptance that it was meant to teach you lessons about yourself, and you are embracing those lessons and healing is what I'm hearing. So those three came out together, but that comeback is in the middle row. So let's see what's going on here. I am able to forgive the times when I was less than the best version of myself. So this connection could have brought out bark, 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 a very, like, your little shadow self, right? The wounded parts of you. This could have really brought out your distorted energy is what I'm hearing. But clearly whoever you are, you're healing, not chasing, focused on purpose. You've learned important lessons that you, from what I'm seeing, have closed out. And you're ready for something real. You're ready for peace, right? You're ready for something that soothes your nervous system is what I'm hearing. When something is aligned with you, you'll feel it. And when something comes in that's not aligned with you, you feel that too. You feel it in your nervous system, right? Your body reacts to it. So what I'm gonna do, let's just get a few more of these cards. All right. Dream job alignment. Dream job alignment. So, mixed signals. So you could have been someone who was really focused on this person or focused on that label, and perhaps you were ignoring your mission, right? Perhaps you were accepting mixed signals, inconsistency from this person. Perhaps you were accepting mixed signals from this person, confused intention, says one thing, does another. emotionally inconsistent, unsure of what you want. And again, I was hearing, what is it reflecting back to you? So while you were focused on this person, possibly chasing, and what I mean by that is like thinking about them all the time, watching readings about them, feeling like you would be complete if you just had them. I feel like you may have been showing up inconsistently towards your purpose. Perhaps you kept saying that you were going to work on your purpose, but then you kept not doing it or procrastinating. But that's good that right now you are focused on your purpose. We also have public glow up, quiet confidence, attracting attention effortlessly. Energy speaks louder than words. So you're also learning lessons about energy does speak, right? People can say they'll be better or they'll change. But energy doesn't lie. So you're learning to not only understand the energy of other people, but also within you, because I mentioned how when it's the right time, you'll feel it. You'll feel when someone is aligned with you, this person or anybody else, friendship even, you'll feel it. You'll feel your nervous system settle. Whereas if it's not aligned with you, it's like it stirs up a lot of chaos within, right? So let's keep going. Lessons learned. Lesson learned. Untold. Oh, no, sorry. Moving in silence. So clearly you're protecting your energy. Holding back emotions, afraid to speak your truth. So whoever this was, you got to a point where you were afraid to speak up about your needs. Very distorted energy, right? That's a distorted feminine energy, not being able to speak up about what you truly want in a connection, out of any type of connection, even in life, out of fear of rejection or being abandoned, right? It's connected to an abandonment wound. So you were hiding parts of yourself. I am proud of the reflection I see in the mirror. And that's what I mean. Whatever this connection was, it was meant to help you see your worth and to listen to your inner compass. When something's aligned, it feels right. It doesn't feel chaotic, is what I'm hearing. But when we have those wounds, chaos can feel familiar and comfortable. We're subconsciously drawn to it. So you were afraid to speak your truth in whatever this was, and that could stem from childhood, right? I was terrified to speak my truth as a child because I knew, like, when you do that, you get punished, right? Oh no, Wally's, hang on. All right. What was I saying? So you're learning to speak your authentic truth is what I'm hearing. That's one of the things that was meant to be reflected back to you, that you are worthy of love, you are worthy of being heard, seen. Perhaps you needed, lessons in how to speak your truth, how to speak in an authentic, assertive way, masculine energy. All right. Now, it's funny, but once you've healed, right? If you get this message, right? And it's just, I have a point. If you get this message, or you got this message, or maybe in the past you would get these comeback messages. And I don't mean like, come back to me. I mean, it's called the comeback, right? Someone popping up. And maybe in the past you were really excited, right? When you were still unhealed, when you were still in that chaser energy. You could have been excited when you heard from this person. Even if they came in with mixed signals, right? And Wally has a message that once you heal that and you learn your lessons, that type of energy, that inconsistent energy, connections where you can't speak your truth, it's not as attractive, right? Because you've healed that part of you. You no longer want that toxic chaos, so it's unattractive, or it gives you the ick is what I'm hearing. It's a message from Wally for you. But yeah, let's see the comeback. So you're learning, one of the things that's being reflected back to you, that you're worthy of taking up space, you're worthy of being heard, you're learning how to speak authentically without that fear of being dismissed, or I'm hearing retribution. The comeback, it's the middle card. It's the middle card. We have fated encounter. So it's someone crossed paths by destiny, familiar soul, instant attraction, divine timing at play. Again, I'm not sure if you've heard from this person, like really recently, or we'll see what comes out. On the bottom we have, it's about money, but it says breaking scarcity cycles, right? So in the past, when this person reached out to you, perhaps because you were in a scarcity mindset or a feeling of lack or lack of self-worth, you would immediately open the door to this person, right? I need one more for this, but you're breaking that scarcity mindset, right? I'm hearing, I will not accept the crumb. Let's get one more for that one. The comeback. Full circle. Closure gained, lessons integrated, peace restored, acceptance achieved. So you're probably someone who is in acceptance. That, do you know what song I'm hearing? I'm hearing the song, it's by someone called Deeps, I think. If you never call again, just know that I will understand. So what I'm seeing here is that you feel this fated encounter, and right now you are in inner peace. Okay, if you don't hear from this person, right? You're in surrender, you're in acceptance. You've learned a very valuable lesson here. Where did the card go? You've learned, you have your own closure, right? And so many people get stuck in that cycle of wanting closure from the person that they're lacking closure with. Closure, we can have that closure ourselves. Lessons integrated, right? Peace restored, acceptance. So I feel like, again, I'm hearing the line of that song, and if you never call again, just know that I will understand. Beautiful. Oh my gosh, my kids are crazy. Boundaries up, exactly. So standing firm, learning to say no, protecting peace, graceful, guarded but graceful. So this card, it's not about when you heard from this person in the past, you'd be like, oh my gosh, I can't believe you're messaging me, you're such a right? Maybe this has already come in and you felt that internal hurricane I'm hearing. So you stood firm and said no. It says learning to say no. Well, that's good. That's good. Very good. Very nice. Right? Integrating that lesson. Because again, so many people, when they get that small little comeback message, they go into that fear. Well, what if I don't answer and then I never hear from them again? Or what if I don't answer quickly enough? Or what if this, what if that? Like, you go into overthinking, right? This is telling me that this came in at some point. You integrated that lesson by keeping your boundary up, by, I'm hearing silent strength. And again, you're accepting that. I'm getting like major acceptance here within you, where if it's meant to align with me, again, it will, which is beautiful. Right? Acceptance brings peace. Instead of, you know the truth, you're not romanticizing the potential anymore. You know, I feel like you're on the journey. You know what this journey is about, and accepting it, right? Accepting the lessons, accepting what you went through, finding that closure, it's brought you peace. And that's a beautiful thing. It takes strength. All right, so I'm gonna confirm this last row. Toxic comfort, hard truth, acceptance brings peace. Authentic expression, exactly. Oh, you have a loyal friend on the bottom. You guys can all see through me. You know what I'm thinking about. We have authentic expression. So you're no longer drawn to that familiar chaos, right? No longer, you're facing reality, healing, not chasing, you know, accepting the timing wasn't right, right? And if it's meant to be, it'll be. And if not, you're trusting spirit to bring you what's aligned with you. And it taught you how to speak your authentic truth here, right? That's one of the lessons you were meant to learn. Because if you grew up in toxicity, right, you probably wouldn't have had a voice of your own. You would have had a blocked throat chakra. You would have had a hard time asking for things, right? Having needs, setting boundaries, speaking up for yourself. Speaking truth, no longer shrinking, letting your real self shine, alignment over approval. Right? Beautiful. And I always say, if you want to call in your people, you have to be your authentic self. If you're pretending to be somebody else or you're holding back, whatever connection you're in, whether it's a friendship or love, right? If you can't speak your authentic truth and let your real self shine, then it's really not energetically aligned for you. You would have to stay small, right? That's not healthy. That's our shadow self, our little wounded inner child. On the bottom, we have loyal friend. So maybe you've called in a loyal friend, or maybe that's what you're focused on, right? Calling in friendships. We've been talking a lot about that around here. And again, the right friend, the people who are meant to align with you, you can be your real self. You can speak your truth, and they'll love you for it. No longer shrinking. Beautiful. Loyal friend, unshakable trust, always showing up, shared laughter and healing, a bond that stays solid. And one of the most beautiful parts of my healing journey has been aligning with the friends I've aligned with, right? I'm taking that loyal friend card. And again, you call in energy, right? Energy, you understand how energy works. Where was that card? Anyway, there was a card about how energy speaks, right? And when you're in wounded energy, you tend to attract in other wounded energy. Whereas when you are speaking your authentic truth and you're healing and you're learning healthy boundaries and you're learning lessons and you're ready for something real, you call in real things, including friendships. I'm seeing, you guys know, I'm seeing Brie, and I've got the love heart emoji, where it has hearts in its eyes. That's what I'm seeing. That's one of the lessons that I've learned, is that I didn't understand friendship because I didn't understand myself, right? So when I was shrinking myself, I was calling in the wrong type of people. All right, one more. I'm seeing Galadriel. One more. I'm seeing Galadriel. I've passed the test. Mixed messages. See, that's not what you want. The hard truth, right? You don't want mixed messages. You don't want confusing communication, inconsistent tone, words not matching actions, unclear intentions. You want a connection where you can be your authentic self. You want people around you where you can let your real self shine, and they love you for that, right? They see you, is what I'm hearing. You want unshakable trust, someone who always shows up, shared laughter and healing, a bond that stays solid, right? You're no longer romanticizing the potential of toxic comfort and mixed messages. And that's a beautiful thing. Again, this is important because it has to do with someone. Well, I've already talked about it. We don't need to talk about them. Now I'm feeling really called. Now that I know what's going on, I'm feeling really called to that black deck again. So let's just see what comes out. Just about this and what you were meant to learn from it. We're being picky again. You, right? Being careful about who you let into your energy. Your energy is valuable. I heard somebody talking about how energy is currency. Anyway. We're being picky. Which again shows me that you're being, a specific card needs to come out, but you're being careful and not in a closed off way. It feels like you are open to whatever is meant to align with you. You're having faith that what is meant to align with you will, but you're also protecting your peace. We don't have to let people in who... Remember when I was talking about how like your whole nervous system activates? We have the right to say no to those people, right? Especially after we've integrated these lessons, like when it feels like that unhealed version of yourself bubbling up, right? Learning to, no, that's not aligned with me anymore. That's not what I want anymore. Can be a hard habit to break, right? Hello? Anybody home? Anybody home? What is with this deck? You are not going to believe what came out. You are not going to believe what came out. Soul contract on the bottom. That's it. I'm not getting any more. Every time I touch this deck now, the little black deck, it's very picky about what cards come out. And I feel like that's because there's a shift in the collective. We have Coffee Cup and we have Twin Flames. Oh, but this is nice. Coffee Cup, meeting and conversing, learning to savor the moment, feeling uplifted, and friendship. Beautiful. All right, so I am gonna use a deck in a little bit here to see what you're calling in, because I'm on the fence about this middle row. I'm on the fence. But from what I'm seeing in these cards, even if this person did reach out, your boundaries are strong, you're shining, you are no longer chasing, you're not romanticizing potential. You've learned a lesson, integrated that lesson, right? So I know that whatever comes towards you, you'll be able to handle it. I can't believe those were the only two that came out. All right. So I'm going to get Soul Seeker's sign. And then again, I'll look at what Spirit wants you to know. But we'll start with this one. Signs, synchronicities. Whoever you are, you're not waiting for contact. I'll tell you that. Synchronicities, repeating numbers, feathers, butterflies, understanding that those synchronicities are about you, right? When you see them, even if they make you think of someone else, perhaps because we do have this card that came out, perhaps Perhaps when you see something that reminds you of that fated encounter, you now know it's a call to go within or it's a message for you. All right, let's see what comes out of this deck. April 18th could be symbolic. I'm going to leave these here. No, I'm going to leave them over there. Nobody puts baby in the corner. Anyway, let's see what's soul seeker sign. Let's see what's going on. Self-deception. That's interesting. And obstacles. And inconsistent. Yes. Oh, okay. So, we'll get back to that one. Self-deception. Lying to self, right? It's Seven of Swords energy. And I see it all the time. When the Seven of Swords come out, we automatically assume it's about someone else, right? But I feel like you were deceiving yourself. I feel like you were seeing that this connection was inconsistent. And it says assuming the worst. So that's what I mean. Perhaps you had a really difficult time. Like every time there was an obstacle, you could have assumed the worst. You could have assumed you were delusional. Also lying to self, right? Seeing some of those red flags, seeing that it was inconsistent, it was hot and cold, it was a roller coaster. But you didn't want to see it. Like maybe you were lying to yourself a little. Because we're looking at you. We have obstacles, blockages, detours, delays. Again, you could have seen these blockages, delays, and assumed the worst, right? Weren't seeing the truth. Because now you're seeing the truth, healing, not chasing. Now you're seeing the truth of the situation. What it was meant to teach you, what it was meant to reflect back to you. Right? Inconsistent, blows, hot and cold, up and down, erratic. So very unstable, toxic comfort, right? And I always talk about this. When you're in an inconsistent dynamic, you can get chemically addicted to it, right? So you assume, like, even though there's blockages and there's arguments and you're unhappy and it's up and down and emotionally confusing and inconsistent, right? You can lie to yourself about these blockages and say, well, maybe if I just try a little harder, or maybe if I'm just a little bit more patient. You get stuck in that dynamic. I talk about the slot machine analogy all the time. Assuming the worst, that if you get up and walk away and get off that ride, what is the top card? Chaos. That the person that you were connected to will just move on and magically be healed, and that's not it. Right? So whoever you are, you're learning important lessons about inconsistent energy, right? What your signs mean. We have reconcile on the bottom. Again, you could have been deceiving yourself, very focused, like, when are they going to come back? When are they going to come back? When are they going to come back? All right, let's keep going because we're going to confirm all these. Whatever that was, it didn't want to come out. Oh, yeah. This is awakening. Perfect, perfect. So we have insomnia, no sleep, waking in the night, exhausted. Now, I'm not seeing this as your energy right now, because that's not what the energy is in that very first deck, right? That's not what the energy was. But this situation that you were in, you were probably losing sleep, mentally exhausting, right? You can burn yourself out over giving. You can burn yourself out chasing. You can burn yourself out trying to decipher inconsistent energy. And what does it mean, right? We have strategic, logical. So I feel like you're seeing this more logically now instead of, and that's masculine energy. And we've been talking a lot about how we need a balance of those energies, right? We need a balance of those energies because they support one another. So if distorted energy feeds off distorted energy, And you know what? I'm feeling called to say that that's the same with other people. Like if you're dealing with people who are in distorted energy, your distorted energy feeds off of each other. The same when you have a balance of those energies and you call in people, those energies feed off of each other. It empowers you. We have strategic, logical, thought through, clear-minded. So you're seeing this more clearly, which is amazing. I'm getting masculine energy from you, and we're talking about you, which means you are learning to support your feminine energy. You're learning to be that provider, protector for yourself, right? One thing I was hearing that I want to mention is because you had a hard time speaking up in this connection, you could have been having to be very strategic about the way you communicate and the way you acted and the way you approached it and how you brought things up. Like very careful about how you worded things. And that shows how blocked you are when it came to authentic expression, right? Possibly because of this person's reactions or reactions you had from caregivers when you were young. We have awakening, spiritual awakening and rebirth. Beautiful. Right? And if you actually are on this journey, you would be awakening, you'd be elevating, you'd be detaching, you'd be wanting to focus on self, you'd be focused on purpose, right? You'd be healing those energies within. If you're truly on this journey, you wouldn't be the type of person who would just be watching, like, I know I keep bringing it up, but I have to be clear. The type of readings that just fill you, it just feeds your validation wound. It feeds that codependency in you, right? It's like, I said it the other day, it's like sitting in front of a recovering alcoholic and being like, here, do you want a drink? Do you want a drink? So whoever you are, you know what this is about, right? All right, let's confirm. That's beautiful. No longer being tempted. Masculine energy. Exactly. Masculine energy, you. Beautiful. All right, self-deception. Brown eyes. Brown eyes could be symbolic. But it also says deep, right? So perhaps you were not wanting, like for a while you could have been deceiving yourself, overlooking red flags, right? Not seeing the deeper meaning of them, I'm hearing. We have hidden, right? Hidden things, out of sight, concealed. So again, I feel like whoever you were, clearly you're different. Because I said whoever you were. Whoever you are, in a sense, you were lying to yourself. And that doesn't make you a liar or delusional or any of that. It just shows that you had hope, right? And that's what I'm talking about, the acceptance. Acceptance brings peace. It's not that you don't have hope. Bree said it perfectly. It's not that you don't have hope. You have faith. You have faith in spirit that all this work you're doing on yourself will align you with the things that are meant to align with you. And we have forward movement, healing, next steps. So you're healing this, right? You're seeing the truth of the situation. Healing, beautiful. Butterfly, transformation, glow up, beautiful change. Right? I'm hearing that reading that I did yesterday. I will heal myself so hard that I will never allow that again. And I will never allow myself to accept that again, right? Because we are also responsible for who we let into our energetic, I want to say bubble. Obstacles. Spark. So maybe because you felt an instant connection, excitement, infatuation. I always thought it was do you know how many words I say incorrectly? It's because I'm an alien and I mimic words. Infatuation. So you felt such a bond with this person. Interesting. So because you felt such a bond with this person, right? You could have been in denial about some of the obstacles that were here, some of the blockages that were here, right? Bless you. One of my children sneezed. But on the bottom, we have cycle and transformation. So clearly through the blockages, the delays, the detours, you're focusing on change and transformation. Divine feminine. Acceptance, like surrendering control, right? Releasing resistance. Transforming your feminine energy and masculine energy, right? No longer seeing that blockage or that detour or that delay as something to be angry about. You're in acceptance that it's allowed you to change and transform and focus on your feminine and masculine energy. Beautiful. I like it. Inconsistent. Complicated, right? We have return. We have return. Middle row, right? We're getting this repetitive energy in the middle row about the comeback, the return. So again, I feel like when this used to come back around, I'm hearing it orbited around quite a few times, right? It was so complicated and confusing that you would probably just get back on that roller coaster. And very complex situation, right? Maybe you weren't seeing through the illusions. Maybe you were so focused on the label or so focused on this person that whenever they returned, you were just like, yep, I'm getting back on that roller coaster because you had hope, right? Very complicated situation. And maybe the last time they returned, that's what you felt internally, right? You felt internal confusion and it signaled to you, this isn't aligned with me anymore. I like it. I like it. Yeah, maybe like the last time they popped up, right? And you felt that and you kept your boundaries up. You thought, now it's time to work on self. Like get to work, new job, focus on finances, focus on mission. This journey is about you. Insomnia. Chaser. See? Chasing after, trying to control. So you were trying to control this situation. And I don't mean that you're like, I do not mean, oh, you're a control, like you were telling this person how to dress and you were trying to control. But you were holding on to it, which is a form of control. Divine feminine surrenders, right? Releases control. We have options, opportunities, choices, possibilities. So I feel like this is under insomnia. So this person could have made you could have felt like an option to this person, or maybe they didn't prioritize you, right? Hot and cold, inconsistent, causing you to lose sleep because you were thinking about it so much, right? We also have this spicy card. Interesting. I don't know how to take that. Except maybe you kept, like I'm hearing it, so I'm going to say it. Maybe you kept getting burned, right? And it got to the point where you were losing sleep over this person. Maybe waiting for them to reach out, right? Or waiting for them to prioritize you. Chaser on the bottom. Okay, those last two, strategic and spiritual awakening. Oh my goodness gracious. Okay. Oh, I don't normally take cards that don't come out. I don't normally take cards that don't come out, but I did see... What card is that? I want to talk about it. Okay. We'll talk about it. All right. We have codependency. So you were definitely, like I said, addicted. Codependency, right? Emotionally reliant, addicted, couldn't let go. Couldn't let go. I get it. This doesn't make you a weak person. This is about, it's about something within you needed to heal, right? I definitely feel like because you were addicted to this person, codependently attached, that you did have to be very careful about what you said, right? But again, now you're looking at this more logically. I wasn't just I'm hearing it, so I'm going to say it. I wasn't just desperate. I wasn't just a desperate chaser, right? I was codependently attached. The slot machine analogy. The tarot lady told me. So you're seeing this clearly, like you're seeing it clearly how this dynamic affects you mentally, makes you lose sleep, affects the other areas of your life. Underneath awakening, we have reconcile. Reconciling with self, coming home to self. And this came out. So I kept hearing it. I feel like you're somebody who was kind of thinking that they were going to come back and you were going to, every time they reached out, you thought you were going to have a reconciliation. Every time they reached out, it was a repeated pattern until you broke the pattern. I'm hearing Breaking the Habit by Linkin Park again. Right? You're accepting that it's being delayed for a reason if the reconciliation with this person, if that's on your mind. It doesn't have to be on your mind. Right? But we do have reconcile, your last card, reach out. I'm going to be honest. I want to look at what spirit wants you to know about what's coming towards you and what you need to know, because clearly there was a point of communication where you chose silence and kept your boundaries up, right? Chose peace. You're in acceptance. You're in inner peace. And I feel like whoever you are, I'm feeling that feminine energy and the masculine energy. I'm feeling that you've been integrating those, right? And that you're at peace with whatever happens. If it's meant to be, it'll be. If not, spirit will align me on the path I'm meant to be on. You're reconciling with self, right? You're putting, I don't know why I'm seeing it this way, but you are reconciling your feminine and masculine energies, and Bree calls it mother energy when those are balanced. Like divine energy is what I'm hearing. You're focused on spiritual awakening, rebirth, reconciling those energies within. And again, trusting that whatever comes, you'll make different choices, right? You won't make the same choices. You'll listen to your body and you know your worth and you'll speak your authentic truth. You won't play small anymore, no matter if they come back in or not. I'm seeing that, I've never seen that movie. It has Brittany Murphy and Dakota Fanning in it. But I'm seeing that meme or gif or whatever it is where she's like, it's like talking about the old version of yourself, and she's like, do you see her around? You're not gonna. She's not here anymore. All right. All right, what card is this? Ghosted. All right. Oh, should I get you I feel like I should get you those Divine Feminine cards. All right. This is good. Again, I feel like they would have to come back very, very, very different if you were going to be open to it, right? Choosing self, awakening on the bottom, spiritual ascension, change in behavior. You've changed. You're not the same person anymore. Slowing down to reflect, shift in priorities and your value, self-worth, transformation of the inner world. Beautiful. Beautiful. Your energy. Feminine energy. Your feminine energy. All right. So we do have ignoring the red flags, sweeping things under the rug. which is the line that that self-deception was in. You're changing that. You're transforming. We'll confirm that because in the other cards, you're healing that, right? You're healing it. We have manifest, beautiful, visualizing, affirming, and receiving, right? Trusting that you can call in, right? You can call in healthier things here. Bree said something yesterday. She said, if it's out of your hands, my positive vibe increases the vibration of others around me. Your positive vibe, manifesting things in. But she said something that if it's out of your hands, it should be out of your mind. So perhaps we have hope on the bottom, but perhaps that's something that you're resonating with now, that it's out of my hands, so I'm not going to think about it, right? I'm going to focus on the other areas, change in priorities and values. I'm going to focus on other areas of my life. But we'll confirm it. 111 on the timer as I said that. Didn't come out, whatever it was. Patience, you, patient. Feminine energy. Balance, balancing feminine and masculine energy. Feeling harmonious within due to both masculine and feminine energies being balanced. My kids just screamed for you. Goddess. I swear this came out in Breeze. Divine energy held within the divine feminine. Divine energy, balanced feminine and masculine. Divine energy held within the divine feminine vessel. And patience. Patience is required. Isn't the right time energetically. That's what you're in acceptance about, right? Is what I'm seeing. That if it didn't, I'm hearing like rejection is protection. Like you're probably someone now when things don't work out, or when you try and film a video and it doesn't record, or send a voice note and it doesn't send, there's a reason, right? There's a reason for everything is what I'm hearing. Let's get you one more. This is a middle card. Finding that balance, being that masculine for yourself, right? I like it. One more for your top row. Music. So you could be listening to music right now. Messages received through music and lyrics. So you could be doing angel shuffle, right? Putting on going like picking a playlist and going, what message do I need today? Skip, stop when it feels right, right? And I'm hearing that song, if you never call again, just know that I will understand. Anyway, like I'm getting that for you, like you're in acceptance. And there's some interesting cards in this deck. Music could be very symbolic. All right. Oh, I just missed the affirmation. What was it? I celebrate the success I have in my life. Do you know what else I'm hearing? Like maybe you're not as focused on time, because I'm thinking about masculine energy and about how masculine energy is like, I have to get everything done before I can relax, right? It's very like work. And I just had a feeling of like, I looked up at the time and it occurred to me like, maybe you're not stressed about time anymore. Like maybe you're not focused on time or when anything's going to happen. You're just kind of, how can I word that? What are you? Music. Oh, that's strange. These are very slippery decks, and the masculine deck is right here. And this card just slightly moved. So I'm like, what are you? Music? I'll say it for this collective. I'll say it for this collective. Perhaps there's a connection through music with this person. I'll leave it there. Because we're focusing on you. Independent! All the women who are independent, throw your hands up at me. You don't have to be a woman. We're not talking about gender over here. We're not talking about meat suits. Anyway. All right. Ignoring the red flags. Sweeping things under the rug, right? So, lesson. Exactly as I'm saying it. I was just about to say this. That is a lesson that I learned. Because as a child, whenever there was conflict in my house, it was swept under the carpet, right? Whenever I got in trouble for something, silent treatment until they felt like talking to me again. I was never taught how, like, conflict resolution. I didn't know what that was, right? Everything was swept under the rug. So what did I do as an adult in relationships? I would overlook red flags. I would sweep things under the carpet. Oh, that doesn't matter. That doesn't matter, right? Make excuses. Valuable soul lesson about ignoring red flags, seeing your worth, recognizing those red flags, making decisions earlier when you see them, right? Valuable soul lessons, making yourself whole again. So this was an important one because you're probably someone who would, empath, wounded empath, I'm hearing, not anymore. Not anymore. You are an empowered empath. You are a goddess or God, whatever. Whatever you resonate with. But learning that when you start to see those little red flags in other people, or feel that internal chaos, that it's not aligned with you. Boundaries, right? Making different choices to make yourself whole again. Recognizing your red flags, right? No longer sweeping the things that you need to work on under the rug. I always say when you sweep it under the rug, you're going to trip over it. Eventually you'll trip over it. Manifest. Forgiving. Forgiving yourself and others. True feminine, like that's divine feminine energy right there. Forgiveness, compassion, right? For all, without needing an apology. And if you are someone who's triggered when I talk about forgiveness, I don't know why you'd still be watching this. If you are someone who's triggered when I talk about forgiveness and your defenses go up, you have a forgiveness wound. Forgiveness is not about the other person. It's about us and the weight and the resentment and the anger that we carry around. Like, I carried baggage from my childhood, resentment around my entire life. So when you're truly in that divine energy, you do have forgiveness. But forgiveness doesn't mean, okay, you can come back now and mistreat me. Forgiveness means having compassion for someone, but also protecting your energy. Forgiving yourself and others. Possibly, I've been talking a lot about caregivers. Forgiving the other person for any pain that was caused by their words or actions. So you found forgiveness for this person as well. Even just forgiveness for the ways you may have acted in distorted masculine energy. All right, I like it. Balance. Balance. Mission! Yeah! High five. Maybe you're realizing that your mission is helping you to balance your energies as well because you need that masculine energy to go after your mission, right? Working to embody your highest self and potential, passionately spreading your light. Authentic expression, shining your light. Mission. And you have to go through all of these, right? To be able to help others. You have to go through these lessons and learn from them so that you can help others. Goddess. You're a goddess. Divine energy. Inner light. You're finding your soul spark. You're no longer dimming your light, right? Your light is shining bright, so you'd be attracting in some stuff here. A divine presence held within to enlighten and guide their soul. Learning to follow that inner light. Learning to follow that inner compass, right? Always go with that gut feeling. That's your intuition. I think Bree says, I always say to Bree, we're like teenagers who have a new boyfriend and we can't shut up about them. But Bree always says that your first instinct, your gut instinct, is your intuition. And then within like 8 to 10 seconds, you can start overthinking it. Overthinking distorted energy. So you're learning when you start to overthink to trust your inner guidance, to follow that inner guidance. I was talking about that with your body, the compass, right? You're learning how to tell when your body is energetically repelling something or is being, if something's not aligned with you, you're starting to feel it, right? Beautiful. Healing, accepting and processing painful experiences and emotions and working towards emotional well-being. Voice, courageously speaking your truth and learning how to make your needs known without that fear that someone's going to reject you or... Anyway, I like it. Or get mad at you, right? I always had, and I still struggle with it. But like when I speak my truth, sometimes I still struggle with that little part of me that was taught that I shouldn't be sharing my voice. One more for music. Aligned, connected to source, identifying with something greater than the material world. Maybe that's what I meant about the time. Because I looked at the time and usually I just didn't feel any stress when I looked at the time, even though my muggle brain is telling me it's almost supper time, it's almost supper time. We do have intimacy. Again, the music... Maybe you're listening to love songs about yourself, but I am seeing that divine feminine. Anyway, I am seeing that maybe there could be some sort of telepathic, like soul communication through music with you and this person. I don't know how else to say it. Let's get one more, because yeah, we have intimacy. Physical, emotional, so maybe some of the music that you're hearing is making you feel physical sensations, could be making you emotional. Like this card, it's reminding me of like Kundalini energy, where you can feel your energy chakras. Like maybe you're listening to music and you can feel some of these chakras while you're listening to music. Let's just get one more for music. Past life. Patience. You have patience. The snail. You have the patience of a snail. I'm just seeing somebody who's trusting them. When something is meant to align with you, it will. All right. Let's get the masculine ones for you, for your masculine energy, because there's a nice balance here. I also see that this was left on the table, telepathy. You could be sensing someone else's energy. That's what I kind of meant about the music. That's what I was getting with music. All right, your masculine energy here. No, I'm going to keep him there. Masculine energy. Separation. Separation. Embracing the separation is what warrior. You, awakened warrior of the heart. Surrender to struggle and ego. That's important. Because when you are in that ego and struggle, you kind of feel like you're a victim, right? So maybe through this separation, there were times where you really struggled or your ego really resisted what was going on. You could have been cursing this journey. Why me? It's a blessing. To be on this journey, it's a blessing. And it's rare. But you're surrendering ego and struggle. So you're no longer fighting it. You're in acceptance. Reconnected with the heart and the divine. And your divine energy, I'm hearing, has returned to love. You. Self-love. Strong. You're in your strength here. Through this separation. All right. I'm just going to get one row and confirm. Well, you got divine feminine, which means you truly are coming into balance, independent, twice. Doesn't need to financially rely on anyone, not influenced or controlled by others, whoever they are, right? Divine feminine, sacred feminine. You're recognizing your own worth. You're recognizing your own divine, beautiful divine feminine energy, right? Think of that Empress. That you're recognizing that within yourself. You're seeing yourself clearly. Home. That's amazing. We have surrender, letting go of negativity, listening to higher wisdom from self, shifting out of ego and into soul self. Beautiful. Ugh, I love it. And we have commitment. Getting serious about yourself, right? Committed to the journey, committed to yourself, committed to inner union, committed to 4, 5, 6. You're on the right path. Committed to mission, right? It says taking the connection with the divine feminine to the next level. You're taking your connection with yourself to the next level, right? I'm hearing you say, I'm a catch. I'm a catch. I gotta rearrange these cards though, because that's not how they came out. They came out like this. Surrender. Remember I am letting joy in without checking. Hang on. That's masculine energy. I am letting joy in without checking if I'm deserving of it, right? Like I was talking about that working thing, the masculine energy, like all work and no play, or has to finish all the work before you can do something nice for yourself. But very good energy. Surrender. I kept saying it. I was feeling surrender. I'm seeing the trust card. It didn't come out, but where she's standing on the cliff, arms open. Now I'm hearing with arms wide open. What song is that? Is that Creed? There's a lot of music coming through. Separation. That one wanted to come out. Are you dating? Have you been dating through this separation? I didn't get anything about dating. Wanting to date the divine feminine. Maybe you're taking yourself out on dates. This is about self. Maybe you're taking yourself out on dates. You're showing up as that partner you wanted. Remember we talked about that. So learning to show up for yourself the way you want someone else to show up for you. You want to call in good energy. That's how you do it. All right, so we have grieving. We have grieving, feeling the loss of the feminine. Maybe you lost yourself, right? Crossroads, making an important life decision. So whoever you are, because this is under surrendered ego and struggle, right? So I feel like for a while you were struggling. You were maybe upset that you were on this journey, upset at what happened between you and this person, but you hit a point where you made a choice. I'm surrendering it, right? I'm choosing self. I know this journey is about me. Because we have crossroads from grieving to warrior. Has returned to love, self-love. Commitment. Balance. Middle row. That was the middle row in the divine feminine. Feeling harmonious within due to both masculine and feminine energies being balanced. You. Middle row. You had it in the feminine deck and the masculine deck. Not backing down. Standing your ground. Standing strong in your boundaries, right? Oh, I'm hearing that song. What is it? I Won't Back Down. Is that Tom Petty that I'm hearing? No, I won't back down. Whatever song that is. Divine feminine energy. Let's confirm it. One more. No more. Spirit says no more. We have telepathy again. Underneath divine feminine, we have compromise. Finding the middle ground. I feel like you're learning an important lesson that just because, right, you are this, I think you used to be a wounded empath. That doesn't mean you need to find a middle ground, right? Like, I want to say, maybe you're learning how to compromise with others. Maybe you're learning how to compromise with yourself. Seeing both sides, right? Seeing both sides of this. It says wanting to openly express your needs and desires. So maybe you're learning how to compromise with self and openly express your needs and desires to others, to yourself. Whoa, tower moment. Nobody's gonna not let you shine, right? You're not gonna dim your light for anybody. Learning important lessons about what you're willing to compromise on and what you're not willing to compromise on, right? Surrender. This is beautiful. Surrender. Karmic family and friends. Good, good, good. Love it. Karmic again. Revelation. So, whoever you are letting go of negativity, and that includes people. Right? Again, when we're in a lower negative energy, lower vibration, we call in lower vibrational energy, right? We feed each other's distorted energy. When you're in a higher vibration, that doesn't align with you anymore. And I feel like you're learning to let go of negative people in your life or people who bring you down. Coworkers, friends, this person. Maybe you did date somebody and let them go. Courage. Having the courage to release things that are not aligned with you. Or if you see that red flag, having the courage to speak up and say, that doesn't align with me, right? Like this karmic energy, it's supposed to help you grow, right? You're supposed to learn lessons from it. And one of the things that you're learning is that you've outgrown those things. So again, I feel like you have been putting boundaries up. Any connection, whatever it is, any situation where you have to dull your light or pretend you're somebody else or like not share your happiness because you're worried about, you know what I mean? You're releasing it. Revelation about karmic friends and family. That's good. Acceptance brings peace, right? No longer worrying that I'm thinking about the first deck. No longer worrying that you're missing an opportunity. You're trusting. If it doesn't feel energetically aligned with you, you're trusting that it's not supposed to be aligned with you, right? Releasing it. Beautiful. Amazing. All the cards in that deck. Knowledge. Trying to better understand this journey. Watching readings about self. I'm hearing. Oh, I left TikTok a long time ago. But I went on TikTok this morning. I can't remember why. Why did I go on there? I can't even remember. I found myself opening TikTok. And every time I swiped, I was seeing those readings. Anyway, I've said it before and I'll probably say it again. I just can't unsee it now, which is why I've changed my readings. All right, these two cards are still sitting here. So I want to see advice from Spirit about the energy you're in. I mean, you're in beautiful energy, and maybe what you are calling in, right? What you're calling in, and what you need to know about that. Because again, once we start learning these lessons and integrating these lessons and passing the tests, we are rewarded. Beautiful things align with us. You don't have to be a psychic to figure out what I'm thinking about. I'm not even going to shuffle. And I'll confirm what comes out, okay? So, how Spirit is seeing you right now, what does Bree call it? Your soul contract is being highlighted. I know soul contract, but... And then again, I want to see, there is some energy of something coming towards you. So I would like to look at what that is, even though I feel like you'll be all right. Whatever it is, I feel like you've got it. All right, you first. Interesting, it didn't. Okay. Masculine energy, you. That's amazing. I just have to read it now, even though you already know. No, you know what? I looked up one yesterday. I'm going to talk about the one I saw yesterday. So the one I saw yesterday about masculine energy was you're no longer procrastinating. You're doing the things that you need to do. You're no longer putting things off. You're no longer putting yourself on the back burner, being inconsistent with self, right? Again, protecting yourself, being your own protector, provider, healthy boundaries, having confidence to go after your mission, your purpose. I like it. Oh my gosh, you got the ladybug. Ladybug. Sound of Music could be symbolic. A vibrant, abundant life. Right? I think we're programmed to see like we need certain things to be vibrant and abundant, but it comes from within. Happy, comfort, leisure, wishes coming true, good health, balance. What was I saying? Balance. It also says birth of a daughter. Maybe you have a daughter. But ladybug, you could be seeing ladybugs. Or as beautiful Bree calls them, lady beetles. We have tracks. I'm hearing that song. Is it from Hercules? About going the distance or go the distance? I also hear the cake song. Steady forward movement, one way, right? You're not, that's how I see you. Like you're focused one way, right? Like when you book a one-way ticket, there's no return, right? You're not planning on going backwards, one way. Wally, do you have to, please? Hey, come here. Come here. All right, whatever. He just wants to make a ruckus underneath the table. Direct route. Traveling, I think I can. On track, right? You know, you're on this journey. You're not focused on the destination. You're not focused on the return. You're focused on the journey. Steady forward movement. Beautiful. And we have balance. Centered, meditate, integrate opposing forces, integrating your masculine and feminine energy. Blah. Flow, feeling complete, because everything you need is within you. Coming home to self, right? Awareness, just right, equality, well-being. Beautiful. One more for you and then I'll confirm them. And then I want to see what you're calling in. So we have 28, March 28th, May 28th, could be symbolic. We have 33, March 5th, May 3rd. All right. Wally's licking something and making noise. One more for you. Two more. Soul contract. Spirit closed the deck. Interesting. I'm still going to look at it. That fell right on Ladybug. Balance. Part of your soul contract, right? Finding that happiness within. You could be someone who's starting to notice, like, what is wrong with my cat? He's just lost his mind today. Anyway, you could be someone who's noticing the little things, right? Where everybody else is just rat race, 9 to 5, gotta get to work, gotta get home, gotta do this, gotta do that. Where you're stopping to smell the roses, I'm hearing. You have the moon. You have the moon. I am the only one who controls my life. Your affirmation. What's up, buddy? He's part Siamese. That's why he's a red Siamese or something. I'm just going to go check on him. Hang on. All right, I'm back. So where were we? Part of your soul contract, being this divine feminine, embodying balanced energy, right? Intuition, subconscious, soul recognition, you, sensuality, artistic, divine feminine energy, the moon, and soul contract. This was part of your soul contract, right? This is the journey. Oh, you have feminine energy as well. Right on the end. You have masculine, feminine balance. I love it. All right. What might you still need to work on? That's what I'm gonna... What does Spirit want you to focus on right now? That's what I'm gonna ask. What does Spirit want you to focus on right now? What does Spirit want you to focus on right now? Wishes coming true. I saw the star. Or the miracle card. What does Spirit want you to focus on right now? Removing unwanted things, exactly. Ooh, okay. We do have messenger, movement, message, travel news, visitor, delivery, goals, green light, progress, full speed ahead. So before we talk about that, Spirit wants you to focus on forward movement. 9 of Cups, right? So anything that doesn't align with you, Spirit wants you forward movement towards that 9 of Cups, towards your happiness, towards your fulfillment. You're already doing that. But if there's anything else that needs to be removed, remove it. Right? That was the line with the karmic friends, family. Are you working on a manuscript? Are you writing a book? That could have been on your soul contract, right? I'm going to use Bree's thing. Pick a book that you're drawn to and turn to page 26 or 10. Message for you. But if you've been thinking about taking a course or writing a book, writing a manuscript, full speed ahead, you've got the green light. Okay? And we have protected. Focus on protecting your energy. Especially when it comes to things that aren't aligned with you. Remove unwanted stuff, purging a clean sweep, clean up, restoring harmony. So again, anything that doesn't bring you that sense of inner calm, off with their head. No. I was hearing that, so I said it. Right? Protecting your energy from things that don't align with you anymore. That's what Spirit wants you to focus on. Including if you get anything from anybody that doesn't feel aligned with you, right? I want to get another one for that one. I didn't even mention the Hermit. Hardworking, intelligent, reserved, helpful, conscientious, responsible. So focus on your path. You're already doing that. I don't need to tell you to do that. For anybody watching this that's not working on your purpose, right? You're being given a green light here. So this is the 10 of Pentacles. So focusing on your stability, maybe you... Again, maybe you've been thinking about education or taking a course. Green light for that. Maybe if you write a book, it's going to bring you financial stability is what I was hearing. All right. What should you be focused on? Networking. Finding your people, shining your light. One more. Developing over time. The wine. The wine. Okay, we have communication again. I felt it from the moment I started this reading, I'm not gonna lie. Okay. So writing. If you're a writer, focus on writing. Speaking your authentic truth, communicating your authentic truth, shining your light, calling your people in, right? We have wine here, developing over time, flavor, legacy, the good stuff, finesse, alchemy, transformed, ages well. We have networking. I'm processing. Networking, marketing, internet, expand, social media, publicity, connected exposure, right? And it's not about going viral. It's not about fame. It's about your purpose. It's about finding your people. right? Authentic expression, no longer shrinking. And if you do have communication from someone where you feel like you have to go back to that old version of yourself, no. Stand strong. You already are. I don't need to tell you that. But Spirit keeps giving me energy of something here, so I'm going to have to look at it. All right. Let's just see what's coming towards you. What you need to know about what's coming towards you. No, what you're calling in. What are you calling in? Energetically. Not what you want, but energetically, what are you calling in? What are you calling in? What are you calling in towards you right now? What are you calling in towards you? What are you calling in towards you? Didn't come out. We have hummingbird. That's good. Positivity. Lifting out of negativity. So we do have mortar and pestle, blend, brew, alchemy, concoction, medicine, breaking things down, making something else. We have expect the unexpected. And we have the lion, fair, just, devoted, majestic, self-esteem, authority figure, overcoming difficulties, heart-centered. So whatever this is, it's going to be important for you to stay in your strength. I'm seeing the strength card. Stay heart-centered, right? Try not to let your ego get the best of you. Whatever this is, don't react impulsively. Don't react impulsively with that expect the unexpected. You know, this could be something that broke down that is now transforming into something else, whether that's a friendship, a relationship with a family member, a coworker, thou who shall not be named is what I'm hearing. Thou who shall not be named. Strength. There's strength. This says 7 to 14 days from July 22nd to August 21st. Be present. Be resilient. Lift out of negativity, lightness of being. Let's get a few more. Don't let this lift you down back into the negativity. We've already talked about it. Stay present. Whatever this is, stay balanced and present, right? Don't react impulsively to whatever this is. Find your balance. We have transformation on the bottom. Can we confirm? I know you can't see them. I just got to push them up. Can we confirm what this is, please, Spirit? Let's confirm this. What is coming towards the collective? Oh my gosh. Okay, so we have the stallion. Oh my. Okay. We have the stallion, breaking free, strong emotions, desire, driving force. We have the double rainbow, divine intervention, ascension, perfect timing, serendipity, light codes, promises kept, duality, as above, so below. And we do have detached here, something you've detached from. Something Here's how I'm going to word this, okay? I am feeling somebody coming towards you. I can't deny that. Like, it keeps coming up. If this, you already know this, I don't have to tell you, but if this hasn't, it says overcoming difficulties, making something else, lift out a negativity, rapid response. Like, that's why I said don't rapidly respond. But I'm just curious, like, you may have somebody coming towards you that may be more present and more communicative. Whatever this is, take it slow, right? If this is just a repeat cycle, I don't even have to tell you this. Let it go, right? Let it be. Go within. There is something here about making sure you're contemplating and going within before and thinking it over before you make any decisions, right? Don't act impulsively. Whatever this is, it says perfect timing, divine intervention. So divine intervention could be running into someone unexpectedly, or somebody's, being divinely guided to reach out to you. It does say perfect timing. So whatever this is, it's happening in the perfect timing. And I'll be honest about what I'm hearing. If it's another layer that you have to work through, right? Like maybe the last time there was a comeback, you didn't choose silence. That could be what this is. For others of you, it could be positive, but your discernment is important here. Like if it doesn't feel, we've been talking so much about inner peace and how you know something's aligned with you. And if it's truly not aligned with you, if you have that, if your body is repelling it, let it be. To me, I almost feel like this is something that you've broken free from, that you've detached from. Whether it's new love, whether it's like maybe you detached from the idea of love to focus on self, right? It just split on new beginnings. One more. We do have engagement ring on the bottom. Don't rush, don't rush. Statement of intent. Next level. I don't want to even say proposal and engagement. That's too fast, too fast. So we have next level promise, partnership, statement of intent, marriage, union. Intuitive, healing, artistic, emotional, flowing, compassion. You're in balance, right? Things are fluid, 50-50. It'll feel balanced if it's the right time for whatever this is. We don't even have to put a face on it, right? You're in surrender, trusting that what is aligned with you, or what aligns with you, is what's meant for you, right? We have geese, temperance, 14, balance, dependable, know where you're going, know where you're going. Again, just handle carefully. I'm seeing the snowflake, handle it carefully. Something that you thought was over and done. I'm going to have to grab a different deck. If you feel hesitation, trust that. If you feel confusion, trust that. It means it's not the right time, because you're in you are so in balanced energy. You know where you're going. You're on a quest, right? And sometimes I find with collective readings, I have to give both messages. Like I have to prepare the ones where this is like the comeback, right? where if there's anything repeating, if you're feeling your old self being triggered, if there hasn't been change and growth, it's not the right time. But for some of you, there's a new beginning here after an ending. New beginning, a sudden increase. It says sex and procreation, just calm down. And we have victory, win, victory, reputation, success, key experience. I mean, for some of you, I'm specifically asking about love right now. But for some of you, this could be a new beginning when it comes to, like a successful new beginning when it comes to mission, right? I'm going to have to grab a different deck. What deck do I want to choose? Hang on, I need a moment. See, and that's what I mean. Like, don't be afraid, whatever this is, to say, I need a moment. Or like, I need a week, right? All right, July 25th could be symbolic. I'm just going to get a couple out of this, just a few, to see what this is. But again, surrender doesn't... You'll know. But that divine intervention, perfect timing. So let's see what this is. Okay, Spirit, close the deck. Love your beauty. For some reason, I felt like looking at the top card. Love your beauty, self-care, beautifying yourself, beauty around you. All right, so we've got kicking the bucket. I'm hearing a habit that you kicked, right? Irreversible ending, no second chances, significant loss, divorce, breakup. This is me confirming what's coming. So this could be something that, remember how partway through the reading I said, September 2nd could be symbolic. I said, heal so hard that you never allow that type of energy around you again, right? We have a teddy bear. This could be someone completely different, right? It's whatever you're manifesting, I'm hearing. A big softy inside, gentle and caring, romantic, affectionate. So someone coming in. Gentle and caring, right? Like that's how you'll feel. You'll feel it. You'll feel gentleness within, not that activation that we were talking about. We have honeymoon, romantic getaway, reigniting a flame, quality time spent together. Again, I have to stress, whoever I'm tapping into is in balance, is in that divine light, divine goddess, divine energy, right? Mother energy. So, this is a tricky one. Because I don't want any of you to repeat a cycle if somebody comes back, right? Whoever I'm channeling, I think there was a comeback, maybe multiple. We have commitment here. Taking it to the next level, getting engaged. Take it slow, please. Just please take it slow. Rebuilding, right? If this is someone that you know, treat it like a brand new connection. Planning for the future, ready for a life partner. And you are committing to self. You're being your own life partner. And we have the cake. Take the cake. You deserve the reward. Have it your way. Wanting it all, not settling for less. And this isn't about like, oh, it's my way or the highway. It's you have worked on your cake, right? You are the cake. We say that all the time, right? This journey is about you. This journey is about inner union, healing, spiritual evolution or ascension, mission, purpose. Anything that comes after the cake is just, as Brie calls it, a topping, right? It's just a bonus. You're not settling for less than you deserve ever again, remember? So if it's anything but what you deserve, no. I'm feeling called to grab a few tarot cards about it. Just a few. Advice for you. We have the King of Cups. Emotionally balanced. You. Heart-centered, kind-hearted, understanding, highly intuitive, diplomatic, artistic, psychic feeling. I got a feeling that tonight's gonna be a good night. Interesting. I just want to get 3. That's it. Advice about this. We have Queen of Cups on the bottom. That's giving like an emotional match energy. Emotionally connected, being in the flow, deep feelings, empathic, intuitive, psychic, loving. Okay, so we've got 2 of Cups coming out. A loving exchange, an honest and heartfelt, open, vulnerable conversation. It does talk about reunion. This could, if you're calling in someone new, this could be someone new. Companionship, mutual feelings. It says new partner, but 2 of Cups isn't always about new. It can be about a reunion. Agreement, in sync. I wish I knew an in sync song. Is it baby bye bye bye? Like if it's not aligned with you, bye bye bye. Is that in sync or am I embarrassing myself? I don't know. But 2 of Cups was the only card that came out. We do have Judgment on the bottom. Queen of Cups on it's a double-sided deck, so we have Queen of Cups here, and on the actual bottom I'll see what comes out, but we have Judgment, new spiritual story, forgiveness, awakening, evaluation, mission, rebirth, action, decision, renewal. Right underneath we have the Emperor. Two more cards. Be clear with us, Spirit. Be clear. Be clear with us. 2 more cards. King of Cups on the bottom again. We've got King of Coins, ultimate provider, strong sense of, this is what I mean. If it doesn't come in like this, no. Strong sense of self-worth, ultimate provider. Financially stable, hardworking, dependable, successful, grounded, abundant, secure, stable. King of Coins. That's like long-term commitment energy, and you have the commitment card. Whoever this is, right? It could be new. King of Cups is on the bottom. Highest form of love there is. He's my favorite king. Emotionally balanced. So if, again, you'd be feeling emotionally balanced, heart-centered. That's how this person would be showing up. If it's not that, it's a... not right now. One more card. My goodness. One more card of advice. One more card. New beginning. Judgment. There's a new beginning here. An offer, flourishing, could be meeting someone new, stable, security, abundance, potential. Remember, you're no longer romanticizing the potential. So if you didn't see the potential in this energy, you would not chase it, you would not accept it. And this is what it's because of you that this is coming in. Because of all the work that you've been doing on self. We've got Judgment and the Emperor here. So if it's not an Emperor coming in, right? Someone, not only that, we have that big softy, compassionate. So they would need to have a balance of masculine and energy, masculine and feminine energy as well. Not just masculine energy, the feminine, the compassion, the nurturing, right? So if they're not, I feel like whoever this is, they're going to be showing up in the same energy you are, right? Like attracts like. Energy attracts energy. Action-oriented, gets it done, protective, authority, powerful, stability, leader. Again, new spiritual story, forgiveness, awakening, evaluation, mission, rebirth, action, decision, renewal. So if it's not that, you need to embody that and stand in your strength and make the judgment call, right? All right. 550, positive change. All right. Let's get, I want to get you one of these. Hang on. All right, I want to get you one of these cards. I'm just going to cut them. Okay. One card, Spirit. One card. One card. One is the loneliest. What is with the cards today? You have chivalry and love. You have chivalry and love. Judgment energy. That's beautiful. Chivalry, number 3. Look at this image. Look. Roses could be symbolic. We have an eagle. I feel like this card talks about someone who's chivalrous. I mean, it is called chivalry. Okay. So this is what you're attracting in, right? This is what this would be showing up as. If it's not this, it's a no. I mean, you can do whatever you want. What is a chivalrous person and how do they behave? So this is how they'll be showing up if it's the right time. Whoever it is, new, old, whatever. They will face up to the many challenges that life presents and protect the people they love and whatever they truly believe in. Protector, provider, a deep respect for the feminine, a powerful understanding that the feminine, a powerful understanding, how will I word this? A powerful understanding that the feminine supports. A deep respect for the feminine and a powerful understanding that they themselves are nurtured by supporting the feminine and helping them to thrive. Opening doors, giving away the seats, whatever. By drawing this card today, this is what you're calling in. Ha! That's hilarious. Not hilarious. Magical. You are calling in a protector provider because you are that for yourself now. Nurture, warmth, support, protector, provider, love. If it's not that, it's a no. Right? That's interesting. Is there any other word in our language that has so many meanings, been so overused and misused, the word love? Interesting. We long for it and agonize over its absence, but what does it really mean? To some people, I'm just going to read it. To some people, love is about fidelity and loyalty. To some, it's about getting married. To some, it's about sharing. To others, it's about obligation and what you owe the people who love you. We use the word and conjure up the idea frequently, yet we see shallow expressions of love everywhere around us, in the media and entertainment. Your angels and guides would like you to think about what love really is for you. It is important to make time to contemplate love and how you can create more love in your life. You're already doing that. But we talk about that all the time here, that love is not limited to romantic love. There's love for our pets. There's love for our friends. There's love for our community, for the birdies outside, right? For ourselves, self-love. Close your eyes and get into the feeling of love. I'm hearing, can you feel the love tonight? The pure, raw energy of this creative force. Allow yourself to feel its presence and merge with its vibration. Love is not confined to human relationships or interactions between living beings. It is a fundamental force that animates and guides the entire universe. Love is the air we breathe, the water we drink, and the earth we walk upon. Love is quite literally all around. Love is all around. It talks about if you want to call in love, love yourself. So think about it. I think you already know what you truly want, right? had to wait for my dogs to stop barking. I just want to get you 2 of these. They're really hard to shuffle, but I want to get you 2. And then I have this deck that I never use called Divine Destiny. I want to get you 2 out of that. All right, so we're just going to get 2. 2 messages of advice. 1, 2. Interesting. We have friendship. Nurture the bonds of friendship within your relationship, and your love life will dramatically improve. So this could be saying start slow, right? Also nurturing the bonds of friendship with your friends, right? It'll help raise your vibration. We have give thanks for the blessings of love soon to come your way. Know that you deserve to be and have all that your heart truly desires. That's the other one. And then on the bottom, we have power. This is important. You instinctively know what is right for you, and you have the power to say no and walk away at any time. So if it's not the right time, no. Put it in the no pile. And I just want to get you 2 of these. I felt very drawn to this deck. I felt very drawn to this deck for some reason. 2 cards out of this deck. One more. One more. You are right where you need to be in divine timing. You are exactly where you need to be. We have seeking. You find what you want when you release your limits. We have unveiled. Something is being unveiled. The love that you long for is being unveiled. And we have 2 little butterflies here. Look at the butterflies. And we have resurfacing. Create a solid foundation for love to build upon. Yes, start slow. Build that strong foundation. You have the power to say no, right? Take it slow is what I'm hearing. You know what? Let's get 1 more. 2 more. I'm hearing 2 more. That's funny. 1 more. Balance. Soul journey. You're on your soul journey. Balance. Love with your heart, mind, and spirit. That's you. You're in balance. Right? Grounded in discernment. And this is amazing because this is about enjoying the journey, right? Enjoy the time you have. The wait will be worth it. You're not waiting. You're not waiting. Soul journey, as you climb the mountain, you will... As you climb the mountain, you see beyond the clouds. You're seeing things more clearly. Soul's journey. Return. The one you thought was gone. I don't know why I find that so funny. I don't know why I find that so funny. It was just like very... It just kept coming out. Anyway, this reading was all about you. So, good job, you. Trust that what is meant for you will not pass you by. Trust what is aligning with you is aligning in perfect timing. Remember that you have the power to say no and remove it if you're not in the same frequency, at the same level. I know you've got this. I know you've got this. Interesting. I just flipped over the top card. Portal. Divine portal. Anyway, I'm going to leave it here. I'm sending you guys lots of love and light. I wonder how long this reading was. It was probably like 2.5 hours. Let me see. I'm going to guess. You can already see it, so that's not fair. Because I don't know how long these videos are until I stitch them all together. I'm going to guess it was 2 hours and 49 minutes, but I'm probably wrong. I love you. Bye.